My name is Annette Patrice v.York. I'm a press photographer and an investigative journalist, and I'm a German citizen. This recording is from August 14th, 2020. I moved to the Côte d'Azur in 2013 to escape the big, stressful, and sometimes dangerous cities where I lived all my life: Paris, New York, Tokyo, Berlin, Sydney, London, etc., and to overcome all the crimes against me I had to endure in my life. Some of them almost cost me my life. I'm a severe crime survivor. I was mugged, I was raped several times, almost murdered, almost strangled to death. I was severely beaten up. My head was smashed against walls. I was attacked with extremely sharp knives and dangerous tasers. I was locked up in dark apartments for hours in New York. My drinks were spiked with dangerous rape drugs in London. And then I was forced into dark parks ready to get killed, and much more. And only my fast moves, my fast brain, and my fast decisions got me out of there alive. I still have severe flashbacks today, and I avoid all negative energy usually around me to be able to keep my head up every day. I managed to overcome all these incidents pretty well, but physical or verbal aggressions bring me always right back to several post-traumatas. I moved to the Côte d'Azur to live in peace finally, and to be together with my dog, to forget the past and to move on to a more peaceful existence and to heal. Little did I know that I will soon become the evil target of one of the most dangerous Freemasons mafias in the world. I worked hard as a press photographer, and I was then soon registered with the government of Monaco and then accredited with the Palace of Monaco. I was present at the regular press conferences in the Ministry of State, and I saw Prince Albert sometimes a few times a day, several times a week, depending for which events I registered. In the beginning, everything went fine. There were a few incidents with a few mean people, but nothing that harmed me as much as the upcoming incidents, like the one on February 10th, 2017, when I went to a wine tasting of Bradley Mitten's Viva Nova Club in the former French restaurant Le Bouchon in Monaco. That evening, we went to the Club Zelos across the street in the Grimaldi Forum with some of the Viva Nova members, where my dog then accidentally peed in the hallway of the reception. I excused myself for my dog and offered to clean up, and I was then told to leave. But since I couldn't find my bag fast enough, the stupid director of the club called the police then. I was then heavily mistreated by Monaco's evil police force. They ordered me then to come with them. The police of Monaco is known for aggressing people physically and verbally all the time, and then locking them up all night for no reason. I declined and told them that I will go home now because I have no time to spend all night in a cell, because I had my very round birthday party the next day where people from all over the world were supposed to come, and I offered them in the same sentence that I can come to see them on Monday after my birthday. Since I was registered with the government, they knew anyway who I was. They declined and then got aggressive with me and jumped on me so that I fell aggressively on the floor, where I hurt my head very badly in the rest of my body. They jumped on my back then and hurt me so tremendously that I started screaming, telling them to get off me. I had already a bad back before. I was in such extreme pain that I panicked from so much violence again. As a crime survivor, I experienced too much violence already before, but they gave a damn. Of course, I was illegally locked up overnight then, and my dog was brought to some animal shelter. I didn't sleep 1 hour in that dirty cell. My body was blown up from all the black and blue bruises and other injuries. I had over 40 injuries all over my body. I had a serious concussion for months to come. My very round birthday celebration was then not possible to manage. On the day of my round birthday, 2 days later, I was lying alone in bed with a blown-up black and blue bruised body and a severe concussion. I was crying all day long. I was completely traumatized. Then the next days, living alone, without having real friends in town, without a car, I had to manage to get to the next big city, Nice, to the legal medical doctor and to the police to press charges against Monaco's police and to get my doctor's certificates ready to use in court. It was almost impossible to manage with my heavy concussion. I couldn't concentrate. I got lost many times. I left important things behind. The concussion was severe, and I had no help. Today, 3.5 years later, my body is injured for life. My pulled-out shoulders never healed. I cannot do certain sports anymore. My back is much worse than before, my knees, my joints, 2 teeth died because of the heavy impact, etc. I immediately informed the Monaco government, and Prince Albert saw my numerous injuries 3 days later, but nothing was done. And France declined illegally my well-deserved insurance, and all help from Monaco's Red Cross was also declined. And no help from Monaco's government was offered, and none of my letters or emails or phone calls were answered. I immediately smelled the dangerous intrigue against me and then informed immediately Angela Merkel to protect me. Angela Merkel reacted very fast, and a letter from my government was then sent to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Monaco. Of course, that letter was never answered until today. I posted then the pictures of my severe injuries online to find witnesses, and then a real evil complot and smear campaign started against me. Because freedom of speech is forbidden in Monaco and is severely punished. I apparently scratched on the fake, beautiful image of Monaco, reporting about the severe ongoing police violence in the Principality. Among other incidents, then on June 4th, 2017, I was then arbitrarily arrested again in front of hundreds of people on the port of Monaco at an event of the Princess Charlene Foundation when I had my VIP wristband and my press photography permission as well. I was again locked up for hours in a dark cell on a beautiful sunny day. I was heavily mistreated like a criminal. Headshots were taken of me. They took photos of me when I started to cry from so much abuse, to humiliate me even more in all kinds of ways, making even fun of my breasts because I didn't wear a bra, etc. It was an absolute disgrace. I was then deported from Monaco. I was put on the French-Monegasque border a few hours later with the order to never come back. When I asked what that was all about, why they were mistreating me like a criminal when I did nothing wrong, I was threatened by the corrupt police to shut up, otherwise they would imprison me. When I complained again to the Monaco government, all of a sudden all my accreditations were taken from me. I was thrown off the press list. Defaming emails against me were sent around everywhere in Monaco to influence other people against me. Most of them I never met. I discovered a defaming press article with tons of lies by corrupt Jean-Marie Fiorucci in the propaganda newspaper Monaco Matin. I was all of a sudden thrown out of events and vernissages where I had the right to be. Some of the corrupt orders were given by corrupt Prince Albert himself. Instead of helping a beaten up, injured woman, a severe crime survivor, and he knew some crucial incidents of my past, he went even more against me. That's what mafiosis do. A severe ongoing bullying and smear campaign was executed against me all of a sudden. It got more and more extreme. It was unbearable. When I left my house, I never knew if I would be arbitrarily arrested again, or beaten up, or extremely publicly defamed, or bullied again, or verbally and physically attacked again, or thrown out, or made fun of, or whatever else. Despite my non-visible, very disturbing panic attacks, I went outside and went to events to record the crucial happenings with hidden recording devices to collect proof, and I have tons of it now. I had severe panic attacks after a while because the abuse got so bad it seemed like a tsunami all of a sudden against me. I was arrested illegal several times, thrown out several times, verbally and physically attacked several times. I lost all my jobs because of the ongoing defamation, even internationally, because this evil Freemasons mafia defamed me everywhere they could. I lost all my business connections. I was informed by several high-profile people that I know well that I was put on a blacklist in Monaco for whatever corrupt reason. People kept away from me because they were afraid to be arrested or defamed too if they hung out with me, so my existence became pretty lonely. It was lonely already before because the people on the Côte d'Azur are so fake and superficial, but now it was even worse. Thank God I still had my dog, but also that would change soon. Because the serious abuse didn't stop, Angela Merkel sent a delegate over to Monaco for me, the Director of Justice of the German Embassy in Paris, and all of a sudden the evil tsunami against me seemed to calm down. But of course, all the charges I pressed against the police of Monaco and several other people were dismissed by the corrupt justice system and its former corrupt Director of Justice, Philippe Namino, who had to abdicate later for serious corruption. Of course, Namino never went to jail because he's a good friend of Prince Albert. An extremely corrupt Namino, who also stole money from the Red Cross, is still the vice president of Monaco's Red Cross today. You have to imagine that. Monaco, also France, is infested with evil Freemasons who sit in the highest positions: police, health, administration, and justice, and they all cover each other up. All lawyers are corrupt and bought by the system, and the propaganda press like Monaco Matin or Nice Matin, etc. as well. There is no chance to ever get justice in infested mafiosi Monaco or France. Monaco is no state of law. Evidence of abuse victims disappear. CCTV footage disappears, like in my February 10th, 2017 police violence case, as well as witness lists. My witness list from February 10th, 2017 is intentionally blocked by corrupt Bradley Mitten from the Viva Nova Club until today. And because he blocks illegally the witness list, helping Monaco covering up its severe police crimes, he and his business is still allowed in Monaco, of course. For my June 4th, 2017 illegal arrest case, corrupt Christian Kahn, secretary of the Princess Charlene Foundation, and criminal Céline Lafuente de la Vota, pseudo-writer for the internet site Monaco Reporter, both who instigated the arbitrary arrest against me on June 4th, deny themselves since. Emails and phone calls were never returned, and when I passed by the Princess Charlene Foundation in person, the door was slammed in my face by evil Kimberly Jarvis, who worked for the foundation. If I hadn't pulled back my head within fragments of a second, my head would have been smashed. Also, Princess Charlene and her brother Garrett Wittstock, the latter I know for years, never answered my letters or phone calls despite Garrett's promise that he will meet me to discuss the serious issue. Nothing was ever done. No answer that made sense was ever given to me why I was illegally arrested and mistreated like a criminal that day when I did nothing wrong. The police joked around that I was a threat to Prince Albert. What a nonsense. No solution or excuses were ever given, and no repair for the total destruction of my whole existence because of June 4th, 2017 was ever offered. After that evil arbitrary arrest, I was all of a sudden supervised, I was followed, my internet and phones were hacked, I even got death threats, and it went so far that I was warned that they would play evil games with me before finishing me off. It was all of a sudden a huge, orchestrated, evil complot against me where I didn't know if I was getting out of there dead or alive. Many dead bodies were found in Monaco. People fell from the 13th floor all of a sudden, like our German fashion designer Otto Kern, who I knew personally. Others were found behind churches 2 weeks later, like the body of boxer Michael Graydon, whose body was then shipped from Monaco to his parents' location with missing organs. Other people's penthouses were put on fire and they died of horrendous deaths, like billionaire Edmund Safra, or the former police chief André Mühlberger. His murderers started the engine of his boat so that he was soaked into the stream right into the propeller, and many more examples. Of course, everything was always ruled as an accident or a suicide when everybody knows that these people were brutally murdered. On the Monaco Media website, you can read about the evil murders in the page, article, and links. Over 250 incidents against me in circa 3 years I noticed until it calmed down a little. But then all of a sudden, mid-November 2018, when I was just hanging out at home quietly with my dog in Roquebrune Cap Martin, right on the Monaco-France border, a police squad from Menton, France, all of a sudden invaded my apartment, and firemen allowed themselves illegal access on my balcony, and they jumped on me aggressively. I was also verbally mistreated. All of a sudden I was handcuffed and my precious dog was taken from me. I was then driven in handcuffs in an ambulance to the Hospital Pasteur in Nice, where I was then strapped to a bed all night and injected with dangerous drugs. I begged them not to inject me with any drugs because my system collapsed already several times before when people abused my body against my will with substances. They didn't care at all. I refused. They jumped on me, aggressed me severely, and injected me with a harsh psychotropic drug that made me so sick afterwards that it even put my life in danger. I had no idea why I was there. I found out the hard way that some evil woman that I never met in my life, called Dominique from the Roquebrune Cap Martin Social Services, CCAS, falsely claimed that I was supposed to jump out of some window. I only called that woman once when my finances went low after Monaco intentionally destroyed all my jobs. When I told them that it was an error, they didn't care at all and harmed me even more. This horrible intrigue against me got even worse. I was then transferred through 3 sections of this hospital, strapped to a bed every day 24/7 for days and days, supervised 24/7 with cameras and nurses. I was forced to lie on my back all day and to stare at the ceiling all day, strapped to the bed all the time so that I couldn't even move. Also, I was not allowed to go to the courtyard to get some sunlight for 10 long days. I was forced to stare at the ceiling in a tiny, dirty room for 10 long days. It was a pure nightmare. And I was just hanging out at home quietly before when they kidnapped me from my home in my jogging pants, only a t-shirt on, without any shoes on, without any cell phone or any means of communication. Because I refused to take these dangerous drugs by swallowing them, I was then force injected every day, while a few aggressive men were jumping on me every single time, holding me down. I got more and more traumatized from all this severe aggression and abuse against humanity, and my body started to physically collapse. The drugs endangered my organs. X-rays were then taken, and then they had to put me on a forced diet, only nasty teas and tasteless broth. But I needed real solid food in my stomach to get some energy back, but I wasn't allowed to eat because these evil drugs destroyed my system. It was horrendous. Then they tried to force me to take another dangerous liquid drug that I should have swallowed. I panicked immediately. They were in total control to destroy my soul, my body, my brain. I pretended to be so sick not be able to take anything else in, to get some time on my hands to find help or rescue. They played a very dangerous game with me. They even served me with papers that it was ordered that I will be kept in there for 6 long months. I got scared and I panicked inside. After 10 long days, I was finally allowed to go outside in the courtyard, and my immediate thought was to get somebody's phone to contact my government to ask for help. Nobody knew where I was yet. We were not allowed to borrow cell phones from other patients, but I did it anyway, and then immediately, and in a very secret way, so that these observing nurses and cameras didn't see it. And each time I had only a few seconds to type sentences without my glasses. It was a challenge, but I managed like that to inform my government, Robert Ehringer, Prince Albert's former spy, who also got fucked over badly by Prince Albert, and other important people around the world, to let them know what was happening to me and what they were trying to do to me in that dangerous place. I then had to gain more time, and I continued to play a game with them that I was way too sick to take this liquid drug that they wanted me to take instead of the other one. Because the guy who lent me his phone all the time, he told me that it was one of the oldest psychotropic drugs out there, that it would be very dangerous for my system and brain to take it because I would end up like a vegetable. I was panicking inside again, but I had to play calm on the outside again, and I continued to play too sick to take anything, and I put my brain on a survival mode then to act accordingly. Because each time they finally gave the order to take a drug and you refused, they called a special force unit to jump on you and to force inject you. Then I asked the guy with the phone if he could sneak some dry pieces of baguette or bread or anything solid out of the dining room for me, because I was fainting from the serious unwanted drug abuse and from not eating, and he did it then. I hid the life-saving dry pieces of bread and sometimes tiny cookies in the 2 front pockets of a sweater that I borrowed from some kid, because they snatched me from my home in the morning with barely something on. And I needed pockets so that I could hide the bread, to bring it outside in the courtyard and then to eat it fast, turning my back on cameras and evil nurses that were observing us all the time and everywhere. We were smart and fast and nobody spooked us. At least I had some solid food in my stomach, because the tea and the nasty broth was disgusting and I was so hungry, my body and my brain started to get too weak. After I was able to sneak the first email out to my embassy via this guy's phone, with all possible details where to find me. My embassy didn't take long to get in contact with that dangerous section of the clinic, and I was finally freed a few days later. Until then, I played the too sick to take new drugs role. It was close every single time to get caught. I panicked inside many times, but I stayed always calm on the outside, my survival mode, and it worked at the end. I was lucky. I spent in total 2 weeks in this dangerous nightmare, asking every day for my dog. I wanted to know where my dog was. I was very worried, but they never gave me an answer. My dog was already brutally murdered by them. She froze brutally to death in this evil shelter called Falicon in Nice. I was absolutely devastated when I found out. Not only they withheld the truth from me all the time, no, that wasn't all. Afterwards, when I wanted to pick up my dog after I got finally out a few days later, the evil director of the shelter, Cindy Jordana, denied me the body of my dog, of which I'm the sole owner. She then started to play an evil game with me, trying to call the police on me every single time when I tried to get the body. And it took me each time 6 hours round trip with several buses, a train, and a taxi to get to that criminal animal shelter in the mountains of Nice. I had no car. I was surrounded all around by psychopaths, and they just didn't want to stop with me. It took me then 6 long months to get the body of my precious child. It was another nightmare. I couldn't believe what I had to live through. When I was finally freed from that evil hospital, I had to figure out how to get home. I had to borrow shoes, had no money on me, no cell phone on me, no friends to call. A taxi paid by any insurance wasn't possible since France denied illegally my health insurance. So I was standing alone in the pouring, cold November rain in 2018, totally weakened from serious unwanted drug abuse, from all the ongoing aggressions, and from not eating. I had no idea where I was. I then had to find out how to get home with buses and trains, and I had no choice then to traveling without paying. I sneaked into the back of the buses and the trains with the hope that no inspector would come and create some more drama. At least I was lucky there, and I came back home without any further incidents. Arrived at home, people wondered where I was, and my Italian friend saw me very frail and then collapsing, crying in his arms. He saw the arbitrary arrest with his own eyes 2 weeks before. He then became one of my protectors. He's part of an Italian mafia clan. Of course, none of these criminals ever took responsibility for their wrongdoing. All kinds of charges were pressed by me, but as usual, all these dangerous Freemasons covered each other up. All police, all involved mayors or prefects, even the federal prosecutor. No chance whatsoever to get justice. For us victims, to get justice in Monaco or France, it's with the press. It's the only way. But since the main press is bought by the system, we have to find other channels. Monaco media is a great one of them. Prince Rainier of Monaco never allowed the Freemasons into Monaco, but after he died, his son Albert allowed these criminals to come in. They're everywhere now in the highest positions: police, administration, health, justice. They go against all laws and against all human rights. After this serious abuse and the brutal murder of my precious child, I was hardly functioning for weeks. I decided then to slowly pack my stuff to get out of there. I just had to wait still for a few court papers to come back, like the one from the new corrupt coroner Morgan Raymond, after the honest coroner Edouard Levrault was fired after he tried to clean up corrupt Monaco. Because after Levrault was fired, he was also in charge of my serious abuse cases. Monaco closed illegally all previous cases, including my severe police attack case from February 2017, with the impertinent lie that I myself had inflicted all injuries on my body, what is of course complete nonsense. Over 40 injuries, including 2 dead teeth, a serious concussion, including 2 pulled out shoulders that never healed until today, when they jumped on my back, pushing me violently to the ground and then beating me up and pushing violently with their bodies on my fragile back. I cannot ski anymore because of it or do my combat training since. Then, after a serious post-trauma period, when I finally started to leave my house again more often, I avoided Monaco as much as I could, and I traveled the world to figure out where I could live next. When I went to Monaco again in December 2019 to participate in certain Christmas events, because I had no family and friends or friends to celebrate it with, I was all of a sudden arrested on December 6, 2019, while walking down the port of Monaco with two older women that I knew. It was like a facial recognition arrest. Now I knew why they took all these photos of me before, like a criminal. ID check was the pretext again. They knew exactly who I was. The two women with me were allowed to leave, and I was locked up again for hours. In a few seconds I informed my government fast again to tell them what was happening and where I would be. I wasn't prepared at all. This illegal arrest came out of the blue moon. I hadn't done anything wrong except going to a nice vernissage and to a nice dinner afterwards with the two ladies. No explanation was ever given why I was arrested again and again illegally deprived of my freedom. It happened 3 times in 1 week. Once they said to me, "You know what you did." I had no clue. That they needed to talk to me. Of course they never talked to me while I was locked up for hours each time. All just a big criminal farce. Each time at least 6 people of mine were informed by me within seconds, including my government, so Monaco had to release me a few hours later each time. They tried to let me disappear, but they were not able to because Dr. Angela Merkel put a special section of the German Ministry of Foreign Affairs in charge of me to get me out of custody, just in case. My last Christmas in the area was of course ruined then, but my spirit was still running high because I knew that I would be out of there soon. These mafia criminals, including the prince who gave certain orders against me, including the one when I was thrown out of the Christmas tree auction in the Hotel de Paris, with at least 6 aggressive police officers who put their dirty, aggressive hands on me again, or when I was thrown out of the Opera Gallery in Monaco, or when I was thrown out of the yacht club at the Peace and Sport event, every single time with ridiculous pretexts. These mafia criminals are all just sad psychopaths, sick narcissists, and sick sociopaths who get excited when they inflict pain on innocent victims. They're just sick people. Also, we all know that Prince Albert stole hundreds of millions of euros from the Red Cross via the Barclays Bank. Even the well-known French newspaper Le Canard Enchaîné, known for its 100% accuracy, and many others reported about it. Honest coroner Edouard Levrault tried to interrogate Prince Albert about it when Prince Albert all of a sudden issued a new law for him and his entourage to make them all immune, so that they can get away with their ongoing severe crimes against humanity. To steal hundreds of millions of euros from the Red Cross that could save many lives in the world, especially during a worldwide crisis like COVID-19, is just a total disgrace. Also, everybody knows that Albert is best friends with Prince Andrew, who was very well connected to Jeffrey Epstein. Also, we know Prince Albert raped artist Elsa Caselli. Elsa confirmed that to me and to Robert Ehringer and others. Elsa was my neighbor in Wacquebrune Cap Martin. Also, we all know Albert raped model Karen Mulder, and there are other victims. Also, Prince Albert let rich Italians into Monaco during the peak of the COVID crisis without putting them in any quarantine, and then closed the borders to put his own citizens in a fatal trap. The COVID-19 infection and death rate for Monaco was sneaked then on the COVID statistics of France and Italy, since infected victims in Monaco were mostly transferred to Italy or France. Also, we all know that Prince Albert is a fake environmental prince. He is destroying his own ecosystem by building this artificial island in La Voto. Most of the corals and other species that were taken off the sea ground to be able to build that island died during the transfer. Also, the ongoing air, water, land pollution, also the ongoing noise pollution in Monaco is outrageous because of the high-speed luxury cars, because of the huge luxury yachts, and the 24/7 construction going on. Whole Monaco has become a big environmental health hazard. Monaco is a fake Disneyland, pretty from the outside, but when you open the doors, all the dirt comes out. And when honest journalists and truth-tellers report about the ongoing police violence and the severe corruption going on in the Principality, these narcissistic sociopaths get out and use their helpers, their flying monkeys, and try to destroy their victims. Monaco's corruption tactics to destroy their victims. The victims' deprivation of all finances, destruction of all jobs and connections, They even destroyed my Annette Patrice v.York press website with thousands of press pictures and precious articles. Severe public defamation of the victim and ongoing bullying. Physical and mental violence against the victim, severe ongoing attacks, harassment, bullying, threats, trying to constantly intimidate and to unstabilize the victim. Monaco's government and entourage never answers any letters or emails regarding any abuse to leave no trace. Supervision of the victim, illegal wiretapping of phones and internet. The use of flying monkeys, the helpers of the dictator Prince Albert, to do all the dirty work for him. They execute all his dirty orders against innocent victims, honest press people, truth tellers. Ongoing public defamation of the victim with dirty press reports and ongoing public illegal arrests. Monaco uses its corrupt justice system to cover up their evil crimes. All lawyers are bought by the system, and all Freemasons brothers sitting in the highest positions cover up each other's crimes. Prince Albert's lawyer, Thierry Lacoste in Paris, is himself a corrupt Freemason. Monaco opens pseudo cases against the victims, and major evidence of the victims disappears all the time. Corrupt lawyers and prosecutors take care of that. All Monaco's press is corrupt and bought by the system. Anne Eastwood, High Commissioner of the Haut Commissariat in Monaco, has a pseudo position. She even tried to bribe me, suggesting that I should erase all press articles about Monaco's police violence in exchange of my then still cut off accreditations. I smelled the serious corruption and declined. Psychiatrists are bought by Monaco to issue false psychological statements of their victims. Victims are put on serious blacklists in Monaco with silly pretexts to destroy the victims' jobs, reputation, and existence. This blacklist is sent to all Monaco's organizations and authorities. The victims who speak the truth about Monaco's severe ongoing police violence and about the severe government and justice system corruption will be falsely denounced as a criminal, and the victim will be treated like an enemy of state. Prince Albert is part of this serious ongoing corruption in Monaco. He's a covert dictator. He's best friends with Vladimir Putin and treats his citizens accordingly, with all his flying monkeys around him who execute all his dirty orders. In public, he betrays a fake identity. He falsely portrays a smiling, nice empath, while on the inside he's a dangerous oligarch who persecutes everybody who's telling the truth about the severe ongoing violence and corruption in Monaco. Only a dictator orders his citizens around to have pictures everywhere of him with his still wife, Princess Charlene, in stores, bars, restaurants, in lawyer or medical cabinets, at home or elsewhere where the citizens work or live, for his citizens to force admire him. Fines will be issued if the dictator's picture is not exposed as ordered. It's sick. Also, everybody knows that Charlene and Prince Albert are not together anymore for a long time already. She has a house in the mountains in Corsica, also an apartment on the Rocher in Monaco above the post office, and in other locations. Charlene only appears for special propaganda photo shoots and for special events like Christmas, the Red Cross Ball, etc. Because she signed a marriage contract that she has to appear and play the fake wife, otherwise they will take her children away from her. Poor Charlene, she's in a dangerous and corrupt golden Freemasons mafiosi cage now. Monaco's and France's police work constantly together, so there is no way out of this constant mafia persecution. I was present at every single press conference in the Ministry of State in Monaco for years, and I know how much Monaco tries to be part of the European Union, falsely stating that Monaco is a democracy, very far away from it. Monaco is a covert dictatorship. I delivered all documents to Angela Merkel in the European Union. Monaco's government is rigged, the justice system is rigged, the police is rigged, etc. Corruption is everywhere in Monaco. Even the mayor's election is rigged. Other possible candidates for the position are threatened if they are trying to get power, and people who say the truth are either threatened to shut up, their whole existence is destroyed, they get locked up, or they get murdered. Monaco is a severely corrupt state. Monaco is no state of law. A dirty rat hole where rich people, most of them who only pretend to live there, hide their millions. A lot of fake residence cards were sold by corrupt police officers in Monaco, and people get even paid to switch on the lights in empty apartments all year long to keep the electricity bill running for the witch just to pretend somebody's living there. The prince is power and money hungry. The prince is a power and money hungry, corrupt entity without any empathy. He destroyed my life completely, without any mercy. Monaco has extremely bad energy. The people are fake pretenders. People are ordered to shut up all the time, otherwise they will be persecuted. The prince himself installed the police within the police that looks over the internet and the press to find out what people say about the prince and the princely family. People who are speaking the truth about the princely family's ongoing crimes will be persecuted and their whole existence will be completely destroyed. The princely family, to be able to gain more and more power, they step on their citizens like little ants and destroy them. Like Heli Air, an airport helicopter service that was mostly replaced and pushed out the way by Monaco now, directed by Princess Caroline's sons, Pierre and Andrea Casiraghi, and many other examples. Of course, Monaco's corrupt court dismisses all charges of the victims all the time against the princely family, the same with the rape charges against Prince Albert. And the propaganda press has to shut up as well, of course. Monaco destroyed intentionally all my jobs and my whole existence. I was even thrown out of my apartment in the harsh wintertime on January 14th, 2020, which was completely against all laws. And since I don't have any work papers at the moment, since Monaco destroyed intentionally all my jobs and connections, and then there came the COVID-19 crisis on top of it, I'm without a home since, now for exactly 7 long months. It's pretty unbearable. Since I'm not a masochist, I prepared my departure from the Côte d'Azur already months ago. I still had to wait for some court papers, then all of a sudden the 3 arbitrary arrests happened in December 2019, when I felt an extremely dangerous vibe all of a sudden around me again, and when Angela Merkel sent me an email with the urge to get out of there ASAP, I took a secret security flight out on February 3rd, 2020, leaving all my moving boxes behind but secured in a storage, which were delivered to me then only weeks later. Arrived at my temporary destination on February 3rd, I made immediately an important phone call to my government telling them that I had arrived safely. Since the corrupt and aggressive Monaco police works all the time together with the French police, they could have snatched me at the border at any time. I live too close to the Monaco-French border in Roquebrune, Cap Martin. They could have invented again all kinds of nonsense to arrest me illegally again, to lock me up then for good or to let me disappear finally. Because after the 3 dubious illegal arrests in December 2019, I got a dubious subpoena in the mail mid-January 2020 that stated that I had to come again to that corrupt police commissariat in Monaco to be held in custody again for some interrogation that they never did anyway in December during the 3 long illegal arrests. All a big dangerous criminal chicanery. I followed Angela Merkel's urge and flew into safety. I moved at least 20 times in the last 7 months because I have no home, but at least I'm safe. No more persecution of some evil mafia and its evil narcissistic, sociopathic dictator. On June 23, 2020, Monaco's corrupt justice system tried to force me to appear in court. My Monaco lawyer, Regis Bergonzi, should have represented me because of the charges I pressed again against the police of Monaco regarding the 3 arbitrary arrests in December 2019. Bergonzi tried to force me then to come into the devil's claws again. He even offered to pick me up with a car in Beau-Soleil, Upper Monaco, where I lived before Roquebrune, Cap Martin, to drive me then right into hell again. I declined for my own security. The court date was then all of a sudden cancelled in a strange way without my lawyer representing me. I never got any court documents from the lawyer of the apparent cancellation. Little did they know that I was already very, very far away. In December 2019, the police even confessed to me that they couldn't do anything about it because the legal arrests were a higher order. That says it all. I'm a severe crime survivor, and I moved to the south of France to find finally peace from all the crimes I had to endure in my life, and to heal. But I got the opposite, pure evil and pure hell. Prince Albert, you're a total disgrace to humanity. 3 years of ongoing persecution by one of the most dangerous Freemasons mafias on earth. Only a strong person can survive this. Within these 3 fatal years, I built a hardcore security network around me with Angela Merkel and my government, with Robert Erringer, with another friend of mine in the US who has a very important military organization with thousands of high-profile members. My Monaco abuse case has a code name there, and with many other high-profile press organizations and high-profile authorities. I'm in a hardcore security program now. In case something happens to me, I will never ever in my whole life commit suicide. I'm not a suicidal person at all. The whole world will know it was Monaco with its corrupt prince. In case something happens to me, thousands of documents will be released to the public worldwide, and Monaco will lose again, and much more. Some of my severe Monaco abuse cases are now with the European Court of Human Rights in Strasbourg. My case is far from being an isolated case. Prince Albert and his evil Freemasons entourage destroyed many innocent people's lives. Several testimonies are on the Monaco media website and other important media outlets. Speak up, people, and stand with us on the right side of history. And Albert of Monaco, you won't break me. Never, ever. And thank you so much again, Dr. Angela Merkel, for your extremely fast and efficient and ongoing support. Without you, I wouldn't be alive anymore. You're my hero.